he's top three. Like, he's top three. The chapter is called Raizo. He is top three Scabbard. In my mind, undefeated. I feel like some people are like, just, it's passing over their heads how freaking awesome. I don't know if I'm just the only one hyped about Raizo. Like, Raizo is blowing past to be one of my favorite Scabbards. I don't know why. Like, in um in the commander's mind, I forgot his freaking name. Jack. Jack's like, oh, these the Scabbards are like, I forgot what it was, and in the background when he says the Scabbards are a scary strong force, you have Inu and Nekomamushi, and you have Raizo in his background. Like, Raizo is a threat to Jack. It's so funny. I love Raizo right now, and the chapter is called Raizo. Anyway, we will get to that, right? This is my chapter review of One Piece, chapter 1046, called Raizo. Let's get started. Cover Request has a quick introduction of two people intruding on Pudding's territory. Probably, maybe work with Pudding. I don't know if we're going to work, and we don't know who it is. We're saying maybe it's Judge, maybe it's the siblings, or someone's there to save Germa 66, right? Now, we cut where we left off with Luffy versus Kaido, and Luffy just bouncing with Kaido on the ground from the punch he just took. Luffy bouncing and bouncing, just so happy, golly, and he's like, oh, what should I name that attack? And Kaido stands up, says, well, I have one thing to ask you. And he mentions, who are you? That's very confusing because it kind of insinuates that Luffy changed personalities, but he reaffirms later on, I'm Luffy. I'm the one that's going to become king of the pirates. And that is different from, well, not different. We also get a panel right after mentioning Zunisha saying, wow, this beat, this rhythm, it reminds me of Joy Boy. Oh, it's been so long I've heard this. And it says, like, this is, people don't like the word. This is almost like fate, that I and everybody should put faith in this boy. And Luffy mentions that he is going to become king of the pirates right after Zunisha mentions that. And Kaido is thrilled that even after everything that he's gone through, awakening and everything, he mentions awakening, that it's your mind and body catching up finally to the potential of your fruit. And he's glad that he hasn't changed of who he is. So it reaffirms that this is still Luffy. There is no change. There is no Joy Boy. This is Luffy. It just might so happen be that Joy Boy had, or Joy Boy was, the person that created the Nika God fruit, right? The human model Nika. So Kaido mentions that he's lost so much in this war. He's lost so many men, everything, most of the things he's built up to, he's lost because of this now. But he mentions, Luffy's lost some stuff too. But I think Kaido is on the worst receiving end here. I think Kaido's lost way more because Luffy approached Wano with a ship. He hasn't really lost much, right? Like, he hasn't lost Luffy, oh no, he kind of has territory, Fishman Island, right? He's conquered some areas, put his flag up. But Luffy has not lost nearly enough as Kaido in this war. And they start throwing hands. Kaido hitting Luffy with a, what's it called? Kandali Dragon Swarm. Luffy retaliates back where he punches Kaido and it rebounds, goes through his body, and you see like his body is made out of, like, anything that Luffy touches on Kaido's body turns into rubber. Still, it's such a, I'm not sure how that does damage to him, although he's quoting his fist with Haki, right? And they're getting a little bit interrupted because there's fire coming out from the ground. And Kaido's mentioning, if you don't stop the fire, you don't stop this now, your men are going to burn. And Luffy's like, no. I left everything to my friends. I left everything to my crew. My task is to just defeat you. And that's always been Luffy, right? Like, I task them to do everything else, but my task is always to defeat the strongest individual on the enemy side. Now we cut to the fire, right? This is the main thing, the main protagonist of the story, right? So the fire's been an issue, but it hasn't been such an issue until right now. So it's like, oh, if we don't stop the fire, everybody's gonna die. We need to stop the fire this chapter. Like not this chapter, but I thought they would kind of build up the fire where all of a sudden fire was a problem. Like it's been like mentioned, oh, the fire is getting stronger, the fire is getting there, fire, and then now it's like, oh, the fire is really out of control. We need to put it out right now, which I think they should have mentioned, or at least Oda maybe mentions that the fire is getting a little out of hand last chapter or something. It kind of just came out of nowhere. But we cut to some characters, cut to Nami, cut to Law's crew, which is again so devastatingly useless. I feel I just really don't like them. It's honestly a waste of panels. We get Beppo, who's just useless again, and apparently confirmed that Beppo has a Sulong, hasn't shown it, still useless. It's just such a tragedy watching these people run around and be useless and still be compared to like, well, I guess they wouldn't be compared to Luffy's crew, right, anymore. They make fun of Brooks. Like Brooke, they're saying, oh, you're dead already, I'm sorry, my condolences. Like Brooks like, no, I'm not dead yet, just relax, okay, I'm just a skeleton, I'm not a charred corpse. And then I see, interestingly, that Sanji's awake, Sanji's moving. And this brings up an idea in my head. Like, Sanji took out Queen. And yeah, he was knocked out. But then he kind of healed. And he recovered. He woke up to feel Luffy awakening. And he's moving now. He's not, he doesn't need assistance right now. So he defeated Queen, I guess people would say relatively easily compared to Zoro defeating King, and Zoro's out. Zoro's still knocked over Frankie, not awake, not making a peep. So I'm trying to gauge where Zoro is and where Sanji is in like durability. Now that Sanji got a power up, durability, strength, like are they actually very near like strength? Could Sanji have taken on King? I haven't really deep dove into that. But it would be something that somebody else is probably going to bring up in a different video. Maybe because now we have a 2-week break. And we cut to Ebi and Apu. I forgot his name. So they're trying to escape. Apu, I forgot his name. They're trying to escape, and Apu's mentioning to Ebi, just smash through the wall. We're gonna burn. Just what's it matter giving up your arm? Just break through the wall. And we have Usopp doing his best to put out the fire. Everybody's putting out their best to put out the fire. Frankie is running around trying to find Chopper because Zoro's about to freaking die after his fight with the King, which again brings up the point: who's stronger here? Well, Zoro could probably one-shot Sanji, right? Like Zoro, that's his trademark. Zoro's one-shots are spectacular. But anyway, that's not the point of the chapter. And then we have the highlight, the VIP of the chapter, the savior, God Raizo over here, putting his faith into Jinbei, and Jinbei putting his faith into Raizo, saying, oh, you can put out the flames. All right, give me every bit of water that you can. And I love this flashback that Raizo is the one that puts out the fire. Raizo is the one that was saved by Neko and Inu, protected up until they were going to risk death. They protected Raizo. He flashbacks into that terrible moment where he couldn't do anything. He was useless to the fires in the castle, and he said never again. And he gathers up the idea to get Zoe, the water from Zoe, and he uses it, and I'm guessing he puts it into a scroll, right? Like he would put Kaido's blast breath. I think he put a few into a scroll because I don't think he could generate this vast amount of water every time. But it doesn't look like he uses it. Well, no, he says he uses a scroll, but I don't know if the scroll is forever inscribed or he has a certain limit of scrolls he can carry around that he just... like he can what's it called, like he would have a total of these 5 scrolls because that's how many he filled, right? And he creates a restoration current of water, and even Jinbei mentions that this is a lot of water. And he starts sending it out to every single floor of the castle, putting out all the fire. And that just highlights how much I absolutely have come to love Raizo throughout the Wano chapter, low key. And everybody's saved out of that one. We cut after that to Yamato and Momonosuke, where they're bickering, saying, Yamato's mentioning to Momo, please make fire now. Make fire clouds, support the castle. This is your job now, because the fires are weakening and the castle will fall. And then we come to the very last chapter. The beautiful, Oda, what are you doing to me? Where you have Luffy jump into the air, grab a piece of lightning, and he looks like he's about to throw it at Kaido or stab Kaido with a piece of lightning, and you just see Kaido smiling and Luffy smiling, and that's the end of the chapter. Oda, what are you doing to me? And that's the end, right? And it looks like there's a break next week, unfortunately, and it's just so hype, and we just have to keep waiting. Predictions for next chapter. I don't know, I wasn't expecting Luffy to grab lightning. I think it makes sense, I guess. He can just conduct lightning, but how'd he grab lightning? Does he command lightning too? He's rubber, so he kind of can grab lightning and not be affected, but how'd he command it to go into his hand? Is it going to be like a weapon now? Does he have a weapon? A lightning sword-ish thing? Or is he like Zeus where he just throws lightning bolts? What the heck? But I guess it's a god, right? Nika is a god. Oda can be as creative as Oda wants on this. We finally get some more clarification on his devil fruit, even more so than now. We get a little bit more of Kaido versus Luffy, but Kaido takes a blow where the castle might start falling. And it's going to start falling, and Momo needs to step up and create flame clouds to hold up the castle. We're going to see the flames are going to get put out next chapter. And, man, I don't know how many more fights Oda's going to keep going with this, but we do need to see what else happens. But that's it for me, guys. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.